The crypto space is packed full of new ideologies. Some are easy to understand, but others are a bit complex to grasp at first, so having someone explain them to you is most likely preferable. This is what I intend to do today. Hi, and welcome to Financial Freedom with Joe. In today's video, we'll talk about proof of work, proof of stake, mining, and staking. These terms can easily be mistaken for the other, but I'll try to clear up that confusion today. However, before we get into the video, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe and like button so you stay updated on our future uploads. Okay, let's get down to business. We are going to talk about proof of work and proof of stake first, before we move to mining and staking. If you look at blockchain, you'll find that one of its essential foundations is decentralization, which must be kept that way for trust to continue. People trust the blockchain because the government cannot control what happens with the blockchain, since there are thousands of storage points scattered around the world, and as long as this keeps being the case, things will keep running smoothly. So if you don't quite understand what I mean by blockchain, don't worry, you're in luck. I have a full video already dedicated to explaining the whole blockchain thing for you. There will be a link to the video in the description of this video. Do check it out. So now, these storage points we just talked about are also called nodes. These nodes are just a bunch of computers controlled by people where transactions are verified and validated. Now in proof of work, these nodes contend with other nodes to make sure they come out as the first to write the next block of transactions, and they can only do this if they can solve the complex mathematical equations that go at them. They want to be the first to write the new block because whoever is first to solve this equation gets rewarded in cryptocurrency. It's important to note that they do not solve these equations with pen and paper, hahaha. No, they don't. They make use of supercomputers to achieve this, and these equations are so difficult that it's very unlikely for one person to solve them simultaneously. That way, everyone has a shot at being the first to solve them. So if you are the first person to solve the equation right, you'll get rewarded. The answer you provided to the equation is the proof that you did the work, hence the name proof of work. It sounds kinda cool, right? Yeah, but it comes at a cost. The whole setup is time and energy consuming. The amount of electricity consumed by the setup alone is massive, and you also require very high-end supercomputers to compete with other nodes. It is so expensive that you sometimes wonder if it's worth it at all. However, if there were a way of validating these transactions without wasting so much energy, time, and computing power, it would be better, right? Well, this is where proof of stake comes in. The proof of stake mechanism has the same end results as proof of work, but does things in a completely different way. We already established that with proof of work, it's a big contest between the most powerful supercomputers and mining power just to come out first, but proof of stake allows one validator at a time to have a go at writing the next block. In proof of stake, all coin holders can contest to be the next validator without the need to waste energy or even solve complex mathematical problems. All the person has to do is have their coins as locked up stake and take part in the contest. However, a few factors determine your probability of winning, like how many coins you've staked and how long you've staked them, plus an added random selection function just to make the process fair for all. So when you're selected and you mine correctly, you get a reward in cryptocurrency. However, if you mine incorrectly, you'll get penalized and lose some of the coins you initially locked up. So there is a monetary incentive for people to stake their coins. Now for all I have been saying, I'll use an example as an analogy so you can better understand proof of work and proof of stake. Okay, so there are 10 people in a swimming competition, and the goal is to grab the gold bar at the bottom of the pool. Whoever is first gets the prize. So after the race, one person wins and gets the prize, but the problem is that the remaining 9 also swam, burnt calories, and wore out their muscles, but in the end didn't get anything at all. They would have been better off not competing at all. This is how proof of work works. No reward for any other person other than the first person to solve the equation. However, proof of stake eliminates this terrible part of proof of work. Instead of sending all 10 people to swim, The system appoints one person, and that one does the work and is rewarded if done correctly, otherwise is penalized. This way, the remaining 9 conserve their energy and resources. This is one significant difference between proof of stake and proof of work. Another cool thing about proof of stake is that everyone who stakes their coins has to keep the network in good order, because they can lose their stake if they don't. This ensures the network is kept in good order and for cheaper too, since you're not putting so much computing power to solve equations that end up being completely worthless. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's move on to mining and staking. Mining is the work a miner puts into the system so that he can be the first to create the next block and ultimately be rewarded. Mining makes use of the proof of work mechanism. This work involves solving complex mathematical problems with supercomputers to verify and validate transactions on the blockchain, which helps to prevent hijacking, fraud, and helps to keep the network secure. However, staking, on the other hand, has the same end result as mining, but it involves cryptocurrency holders putting a portion of their holdings in a vault and locking them up for a certain amount of time in exchange for rewards. These coins cannot be accessible by users until the lockup time has passed, which might be for months or years. A validator will be chosen from among these users to do validation based on the stake time, stake amount, and a random selection process. In staking, users don't have to solve any complex mathematical problems. Platforms such as Binance have made it extremely simple for customers to stake their currencies. They handle all of the back-end work, making staking straightforward. What we do while staking on platforms like Binance is just joining a staking pool. We just join forces with others to stake our currencies, and Binance receives a portion of our stakes in exchange for doing all the backbreaking work. Some differences between staking and mining. Mining necessitates using heavy supercomputers, power, and time, which impacts the environment and incurs significant expenses. On the other hand, staking does not. It is less expensive and has a lower environmental impact. Miners usually earn more rewards than stakers. Still, it's virtually even when you include the costs of maintaining a mine, such as power and computers, mainly because miners don't always get paid for their efforts. While staking looks like it's the better option of the two, it also has its risks too. The first is the lockup state, because you must lock up your coins for a certain amount of time without access, even if the currency you staked appears to be losing value owing to some circumstances. You will be unable to liquidate your coins. This is because you won't be able to withdraw them at that time. You'll simply sit there and hope for the price to rise back up. Although this does not happen very often, it does occur and should be considered before deciding to stake. The other factor is the duration of the reward. So, depending on the network you pick, the payment of your staking position might take minutes, days, or even weeks. This is why knowing when the network's rewards are paid out is critical. If your incentives take longer to arrive, that might be an issue. Your rewards should not be delayed. So take note of that too. Alright, this brings us to the end of the video. I hope you had a great time watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and drop your concerns in the comment section below. I'll attend to them as soon as possible. So till next time, friends, bye.